The Northport War was a major conflict fought by the Kingdom of Aurora against the New Durastaruk Accords. It began when the NDA declared war on June 22nd, 2022, and although peace was not officially made until October 26th, all fighting had stopped by June 7th. Tensions originated from many long-standing rivalries between individuals and nations going as far back as the Second Empire of Alderash. Ganevs declared war on Aurora with the express purpose of regaining Northport, the town he founded in March of 2021. Management of the town was given to his son, Ward, at some point in late January or early February 2022, though talks in council indicate Ganevs still held onto it until at least the 12th of February, with the claim itself being owned by Sixes for an unknown amount of time. Eventually, however, Ward became the full owner of Northport, before he passed it on to Scythe via Sinclair on the 13th of March. Ganev's role in the fall of Alderash and his leading role in the Union of Haven led to him being removed from the Kingdom of Aurora. It was on this removal that Ganef justified his invasion of Aurora, aimed at freeing Northport from Auroran control. This, however, was only the public justification for the war, as Ganef declared to his supporters that he intended to conquer Aurora completely. Ganef's planned to rule the majority as a new kingdom, while some lands would be given away to other members of the NDA. By the time of the first battle of the war, the odds appeared to be stacked in the NDA's favor. Aurora had gathered their allies and paid for mercenaries to equalize the numbers, but remained outnumbered. Northport had been extensively fortified, surrounded by a massive pit and covered in traps. The battle started relatively slowly as the NDA attempted to make their first breach. Robot and Ganevs were the first to go up to the walls, supposedly to talk with the defenders. NDA plans, however, had been leaked to the Aurorans, stating that this was just a diversion for an attack. When they arrived at the edge of the pit, they were pushed in by a defender who had pearled onto their side, killing them both. Several attempts were made at claiming areas outside of the walls, but extensive use of fireballs by the defenders stopped most of them from succeeding. The first major engagement came on the southwest corner of the defensive wall. The area was highlighted by the Aurorans as a weak spot in the defenses before the battle, as it was easy to bridge to, but they didn't have enough time to fix it before the battle. The first group of attackers who breached the walls were driven back, but the second attempt successfully broke through into the market area of the city. A large battle ensued there and in the boarded-up canals, which the NDA won. Once the first breach had been made, the NDA began a slow process of clearing through Northport street by street, until the final fight of the battle occurred in and around the Northport Town Hall. The NDA got onto the roof, but the Aurorans were in control of the lower sections of the Town Hall by the end of the battle. As a result, the NDA technically won the Battle of Northport, as they had gained more kills, but made no progress towards capturing the city. The city had been damaged extensively in the fighting, but the Aurorans had held. By the time of the second battle, the strength of the NDA had waned significantly. Tortuga had exited the war, taking all their fighters with them. All other nations remained, but each of them also provided less troops than before, as motivation to continue fighting dropped. The Aurorans, eager to not lose their homes, remained motivated, though they also brought less troops. This time the Aurorans decided to take the offensive, as well as defending Northport, striking the enemy base at Savras. The 2nd and 3rd Auroran Corps made extensive use of hit-and-run tactics throughout the battle, killing the garrison, then returning to Northport when the NDA's best soldiers arrived to fight them. The defense of the city itself was also successful, as the NDA struggled to get out of the breach they made in the wall. The NDA managed to get a lot of kills by pushing people into the massive pit that surrounded the city, but it wasn't enough to substitute for their lack of progress into the city. As the battle continued, the NDA's strength faltered, and eventually they were unable to send enough people to push the Aurorans out of Savras. By the end of the battle, the government building and cathedral of Savras were completely controlled by the Aurorans, resulting in an Auroran victory. The defeat at Savras caused major problems for the New Durastaruk Accords. Another defeat along the lines of Savras would result in the complete loss of any town used in the war, which combined with the high requirements of a city capable of attacking Northport to make the potential risks of another battle exceedingly high. All nations involved wished to continue the war, but when all failed to provide a town, the war entered into an official stalemate. The leadership of the NDA remained as committed as ever to the continuation of the war, with the Imperium going so far as to announce the dissolving of any treaties they had with nations that were not at war with Aurora. At the lower levels of the NDA's constituent nations, the cracks were beginning to show. The IAU was the second nation to exit the war. Their own war with Paradise had ended in a crushing defeat which sent the Union into disarray. They were removed from the NDA and shortly thereafter collapsed into the Autocratoria Sirajra. They were followed by the Solianan Imperium, which would largely be annexed by Sertaria following Bardonia's declaration of independence. Both Sertaria and the new Bardonian government were friendly to Aurora, reversing Aurora's position on the world stage in only a few short weeks. On October 26, 2022, Ganef and Aurelian, king of Aurora, personally agreed to peace. This officially ended hostilities. Thanks for watching and please subscribe. It's free and it really helps out the channel. Thank you. Peace out and goodbye.